if you want to be an ally for someone who survived sexual trauma or sexual assault, how do you do it? I'm here with Jimanika Eborn from SoJim.com, and I'm Kathy Martulli from theintimacydojo.com. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, both of us have had sexual abuse pasts.
We've had our nose not hurt.
Yes, and we both work with people that are trauma survivors. So, I'd love for you to share, like, you've been doing some great work with More Than No and also SoJim, like helping people recover from trauma. And what are some of the things that you noticed that really help people as an ally might be able to do for someone that's the survivor or someone who's just dealing with the whole brunt of everything that's going on?
Yeah, I think my first thing that I love to tell people, please listen to what they're saying. Do not listen to respond. Do not listen to add a but. Do not listen to add a question. Listen to what they are saying and how they're feeling. Who knows when the trauma happened? It could be recent. It can be in the past. You don't know where they're at in their healing.
Yeah.
And while listening to them, then ask, what do you need from me? How can I support you? Because it's really important, because everyone needs different things. Some people may be like, I need a drink. I need a hug. I just need someone to sit with me, which I think is really important, like figuring out what that person needs right in that moment, and ask them multiple times, because it's not going to stay the same as the healing and as they figure out all the things. I think another thing that's very important is don't start pushing your ideals on them. Be like, well, this was a thing and I heard and I saw. Great. It's great to have resources for when they are ready to do the thing, but don't push them to go to the police department. Yeah. Do not push them to go to the hospital and get a START kit. Do it when they're ready. And, some people don't even know that these are, steps that they can take.
Yeah, you can offer, but don't try to make it be that. They've already had their no, not listened to. Mm-hmm. So pushing them around makes them feel even less safe.
Definitely. It makes them feel, it can re-traumatize. Yeah. The best thing to do is to support where they are, and listen to them, honestly, while they're going through whatever they're going through, because you don't know the severity of the situation. Again, when they're ready, I'm sure they will ask at some point. Who knows when that is? Also, I think it's really important when talking about not pushing someone is to be mindful that this may be an ongoing healing process forever. So don't ask like, well, I know this happened like 3 years ago, but like, we're still doing this? Yeah, we are still doing this. And I might still be doing this the rest of my life because it's really hard. Yeah. So I think that's extremely important. And there's an abundance of other things you can do, like not try to push them to go outside the house so fast.
It's the primitive brain wants to stay, if something bad has happened or we're feeling overwhelmed, our primitive brain wants to stay safe, somewhere safe where we don't have to pay a lot of attention to a lot of different potential threats. Staying home feels really safe.
Yeah, it does. And that may be where they need to stay for now. Being a good ally is supporting that, but also, supporting that they still need to eat. Bring them food. Sit with them. Sometimes people just need to know that someone is there. Yeah. When they tell you that whatever has happened, listen to them and believe them. Because there's a lot of people that build up the strength to share such a scary thing that's happened to them and are met with like, well, are you sure that's what really happened? And I don't know if people understand how detrimental that can be to a healing process.
Well, I think it's something that people want to say because it's often hard for someone listening to hear that story. Mm-hmm. And if they can deny part of it or distance themselves from part of it, it feels safer. And so part of what I encourage people to do is actually take care of yourself. If you're being an ally, you can say, hey, listen, I so appreciate your trust and your vulnerability, and I need to pause this. So, if you want to call someone else or get some other support, I will support you in that. But I need to take a pause because I love you, and this is challenging for me to hear too. It doesn't mean you have to sacrifice yourself.
No.
You can say, hey, I need to take a break, but denying their experience or their feelings.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I think it's extremely important to note that allies should get support. Supporters need support.
Yeah.
I'm about to get a therapist myself. I'm waiting for the call back because I hold a lot of space for people.
Yep.
But also, I need to mentally be prepared to deal and hear things. Like, I've heard things that probably a lot of people will be like, I'm sorry, what now?
Yeah.
And you have to take it in sometimes if that's what you're doing. Listening to them, being supportive of them, meeting them where they are, not questioning them is extremely important, not pushing them faster than where they're at.
Yeah.
Because it can be scary to be pushed when you're in that space and you're already going through so many things. And if you're not ready and then you do the thing, that may set you all the way back.
Yeah.
It may take you back to square one and you've done all these things and built it up. Like I said, finding resources for people are also really good. Because there's a lot of people that are so struck and they're like, I don't know what to do. I can't do anything.
People get in their primitive brain and they're literally frozen and can't take action.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to encourage people, depending on where the person is, they may be in a very articulate, they're not experiencing flashbacks at the moment, but they want to process. Listening, helping them talk about it is really great. But there may be times when people are so overwhelmed with the feelings. I used to get horrible flashbacks. Mm-hmm. And I would literally be frozen and feel like the things were happening or the person was in the room with me. And at that point, there were little steps. I have something called the grounding exercises at thrivingnow.com/grounding that can help you talk. If you have flashbacks or someone else does, just kind of asking very simple questions, yes or no answers, or one choice one choice or the other, where that lets them feel a little more powerful. Mm-hmm. Would you like it a little hotter or a little cooler? Uh-huh. Would you like a glass of water? Like giving someone something cool to drink or warm to drink can be very powerful because if a bear was chasing you, our primitive brain feels like it's happening again. Mm-hmm. And giving them the choice of something or just giving them something cool or warm signals the primitive brain that something's not chasing you. Because you wouldn't go stop to get a drink of cool water or a hot tea if the bear was still after you.
And our bodies go into flight, fright, or freeze when these intense things happen. So as an ally, don't start questioning, like, why didn't you do this thing? Yeah. Well, why did you freeze up? Because that's how their body reacted. Yeah. Like, why didn't you stop them? Why didn't you scream? Why did you wear the thing? Please do not ask someone why they wore that. Yeah. What did they drink? Why did you go there?
Did you flirt with them or her? Or?
Regardless if they did all the things and they walked in the room naked and they were drunk
and threw themselves on the floor and spread their legs.
Spun in circles.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It does not matter. The only thing in being an ally is being a support and providing, that energy and that space and allowing someone to feel safe again. Do the work for yourself. There's a lot of research that goes into trauma. There's a lot of research that goes into how to support people. That trauma, broken legs, there's classes for everything. And I think it's really important if you want to call yourself an ally. And I feel like sometimes that word is used and people don't know what it means.
Right.
Like you're like, oh, I'm an ally. What does that mean?
Are you willing to show up when things are a little uncomfortable? Are you willing to show up when no one is going to give you kudos for speaking up for survivors?
If you are sitting there and there's someone making fun of the Me Too movement, you are not an ally. If you are sitting there like, oh, no, like this is a serious thing. If you are an ally, you're going to be like, you know what? What you're saying is not cool. It's not okay. And these are the reasons why it's not okay. This is a serious situation. This is a space for people to heal. This is a space for people to finally feel comfortable to tell their stories. So even like I've said beforehand, an ally isn't always someone that's sitting in front of a survivor. An ally is someone that's doing the footwork behind and working to get policies changed. Yep. And working in education and trying to get people in spaces that may not know these things. And, don't shame people all the time for not knowing. And ignorance is a thing. And we've all been ignorant in a billion things. I was ignorant a few years ago. I've been doing this for quite some time now. But there's a lot of things I did not know.
And what we know 5 years from now will we'll look back at ourselves and like, how could we not know that? But we're evolving. The understanding of trauma and everything is evolving. thrivingnow.com/trauma has a whole bunch of resources for people that want to help people with trauma or want to have help with their own trauma.
Yeah, I think it's really important, and I want to note that being an ally is knowing that all bodies, all ages, all professions can be sexually assaulted.
Yes.
And so I do have a lot of friends and people that I love in my life that are sex workers. That is their job. But they still can be assaulted if their no is not heard.
Yes.
And just because you didn't verbalize the no, if you don't hear someone solid, yes, hell yes, I want to do the thing right now, do that thing, then that's a no. It's a no for me. Mm-hmm. And being an ally is understanding, like, you may not have said no, but I know you didn't say yes. And I don't care what your job is. If you did not give that consent, then I want to be able to stand for you and be like, this is not okay. So I think that's really important. No, for sure.
It's really important, and people need to know they're heard. You also you get to express your allyship in different ways. Mm-hmm. Like, I am not someone who enjoys marching. I don't like big crowds like that. A lot of my friends really love it, and they were like, aren't you coming to march? And I'm like, you know what? I'm donating money to the cause. I'm doing things online, but I don't feel safe in large crowds like that, so I'm not going to march. Yeah. You can also be, like, if you want to support someone one-on-one, that's a great way to support them. But speaking up when other people are putting something down, I think is almost...
There's tons of ways to be an ally. If you're like, look, I can't do the thing, donate to educators. You can donate to us. Yeah. Donate to educators that are doing the work that may not be recognized. Donate to nonprofits that are doing the work. Donate your time, if you can, to, doing kits. So we do kits for women, like... not necessarily like homeless like survivors, but a lot of people out there, we do recognize that a lot of homeless women are survivors and need help. So we do like hygiene kits, like donate supplies if you can. If you're a teacher, do a special class on consent. There's a lot of places that we don't realize we have a lot of power and we have platforms. As an ally, use your platform. I think that's really important.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, if you're just sitting out some tweets, post an Instagram photo. Like, someone that did not know the thing may see that. So even if you reach one person, I think you've done something. Yeah. I think that's really important. Like, you don't have to stand in front of a podium and speak to the masses, because that's not for everybody. Like, if you reach one person, I feel like you are doing something.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Dominica.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you tuning in. We hope this helps and gives you some ideas to move forward. It's certainly not comprehensive. There's lots of great articles and programs and videos out there, but we hope this gives you some place to start.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.